Now, a Hutch's weather update with Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson, brought to you by Robert Gibb and Sons.
Hello, everybody. Meteorologist Hutch Johnson with a frost scraper in hand. We have an update for you as we head into the 10 o'clock hour, closing out 2 days of severe weather, 2 days of very heavy rainfall. Some flooding concerns continue across portions of Minnesota here in the valley. Rainfall reports over 3 and even 4 inches reported in places. A northwest flow means cooler, drier air will erase the severe threat for now, but not forever. We'll have all of the details and what you need to know coming up right now. But first, a little message from my sponsors at Robert Gibb and Sons. With all of this wet weather, is your sump pump, well, is it working overtime? Check this out. They have a deal for you. They will inspect that sump pump for $135, get everything checked out, and if it's fine, you're good to go. Now, I could tell you this, though, if you need a sump pump replacement, the $135 goes towards your cost, and that's a $550 replacement. Stay dry and save. Make sure that sump pump of yours is in top shapes. Call my friends at Robert Gibb and Sons. Okay, let's take a look at what we have going on across the area. Some interesting facts in the forecast. We're going to start out with a look at some rainfall across the area, and it was so soggy across the region. Here's a look at some of the North Dakota Agricultural Weather Network's measurements across the area. We'll go to this first. And I want to point out that as we look at the areas in green, that's where there were some heavy rain showers measured across central parts of Minnesota. In Becker County, northeastern part, 3.28 inches there. And how about 1.5 inches? Central Otter Tail County, not far from Otter Tail Lake. Out near Fergus Falls, a 1.52. Look at these big winners out here in that Wilkin County area, 2.03 and 2.14. In those areas, 1.97 for the Breckenridge area. Look at out in the central parts of Richland County, nearly 3 inches there. Now, Fargo picked up 0.72 inches, but here in South Moorhead at Hutch's home, I got to tell you, I had exactly 1.01 inches of rain, and that's similar to what we saw in northern parts of Cass County. Grand Forks, some grand rain amounts, totaling upwards of 2 inches of rain, 2.3 inches in western Grand Forks County. Nelson County right here. Here's Nelson, that little box, 2.32 inches. How about the Devil's Lake area, 1.17. Lower amounts in the Devil's Lake area, but still very soggy over the last couple of days. This is a 2-day total rainfall. This includes Monday's storms. This includes today's. And indeed, Brenda says it's still raining out there. Hi, Nathan. Good to have you on board. Thanks, Rose, for your support. I do appreciate it. And oh dear is right. A lot of rain. Let me finish this up by saying out in the western Dakotas, they got some much needed rainfall in and around Lake Sakakawea, that Hazen Beulah area, picking up around 3/4 of an inch. The capital city right at 63/100 outside of Mandan. A little farther to the east of Bismarck, it's 1.2 inches of rainfall there. So all in all, soggy conditions across the valley in particular. Where you see the greens, that's where some of the heaviest rainfall was reported by the North Dakota Agricultural Weather Network. Now, Jeremy is reporting 5 inches of rain 1 mile west of Middle River. We did get some awesome rainfall reports from you. You can check my other videos for more on that, but I welcome you putting those comments in here. 3 inches basically overnight in Warroad. So if we look up in the Warroad area here on the map, we can see, well, how about up there in near that Vedette area? 2.24, 3 inches is not out of the question. Southern parts of Roseau County, 2.91 inches of soggy ridiculousness out there. And there was a lot of rain with this system. So flooding, not out of the question. In fact, that is one of the concerns. Here's a look at where we have actual flood warnings taking place. Look at the arrowhead of Minnesota, the North Shore, from Duluth all the way up that North Shore and into the Iron Range and north. We have flood warnings. In our area, we do have a couple of flood warnings to tell you about as well. See this little area? Oh, that's the Warren area there. That Snake River is expected to rise up. Alvarado, we have a flood watch for your area. And a little bit farther to the south, moving into Grand Forks, there is a flood watch in place for that Red Lake River at Crookston, where there's going to be a chance for some flooding between now and Sunday as our rivers rise after taking on substantial water across the region. Still some severe weather to the east of Minneapolis, looking into parts of western Wisconsin out there, not far from Rice Lake and Amory, and in and around the Twin Cities, a whole host of severe thunderstorms, or excuse me, flash flood watches. Hi, Hutch, says Rich. It says there has been rain on all of the cameras. Rich runs a network of outstanding cameras, and I can tell you that, well, let's see. I have an access to them. Let me set this up here. We'll show you the picture of some of Rich's cameras out here. There's 12 cameras he's got set up on this page. I'm going to put the link up for you, and you too can watch and check this out. Let me put this in your comment section here as I can help Rich, because he helps me out by letting me know what's going on. This is a great way to peruse across portions of the region with regards to where there are some cameras to show us around the area. And then if you take this page, and I'll take it up here for you real quick so you can see. Again, I appreciate you, Rich. Thanks for sharing. This is a look at those cameras, and I'll have to readjust the screen just a pinch. There we go. Now we can see them. And again, wet cameras all the way across the region. This includes cameras that Rich has in many areas here. So you can take a look, and there are individual cams available as well. So again, soggy conditions after soggy weather across the entire area. Got to tell you, it has definitely been a wet proposition. Now let's talk about from wet to this nonsense. There is a reason why I had this neat little graphic behind me. I have my frost scraper ready, not here in Fargo, not in Devil's Lake, not in Jamestown, unless you want to use that frost scraper to scrape off something fun like the grill. Oh no. Oh no, that's right. We've got some problems. Let's check with our neighbors at the Bismarck National Weather Service Forecast Office. I got a couple of questions from you. Here's the answer. Yep. Yes, indeedly doodly. There is a chance for some frost. There is a frost advisory for the Western Dakotas. This includes all the way from the Crosby area through Williston and McKenzie County out there in the Twin Buttes area. Dickinson out near New Salem, Sioux could have some frost. Ooh, that's pretty chilly out there. All the way down to Bowman, Lemon, South Dakota area. This area, all the way into Bismarck, Mandan. A chance for frosty weather to start your day. How low will we go? Well, let's take a look at your forecast. We're going to start with that. Here's a look at your morning temperatures. We'll start out to the west where that frosty excitement could be. Temperatures at Beach, North Dakota, 33 degrees. Glendive, Montana, 34 degrees. Balmy there. Start to your day out in the Glen Ullin area of 39. The capital city, 43 for Bismarck. Not as cold down to the south in Pierce, South Dakota, 51 there. That's about the same thing we'll have here in the FM area. In fact, Hutch has 52 for the low in the Fargo-Moorhead area, 50 for Grand Forks, 44 Devils Lake, 51 Bemidji. And Warroad up there with all of that soggy rain that you got. We're checking in with a 47-degree start to your day on Wednesday. Notice there's still a chance for a morning sprinkle in our eastern counties out to the far east. Other than that, we'll have decreasing clouds, and it will be cold out to the west. Wind will be breeziest in the early day out there, so keep that in mind as you start out your day. Hey, Wayne says Carlstadt, 1.4 inches. Thank you for your report, Wayne. I do appreciate you. Cindy says raining in Plummer again, and it's getting old. The mosquitoes are carrying us away. And saw a deer swimming in the ditch in Thief River. You know, that's something too. I've seen cameras across the area with completely flooded ditches. So be careful on areas, roads. You do not want to go into that ditch and roll over. That's not a good thing when we have ditches full of water. 3 inches in Alvarado this morning, Lynn says. So it was definitely the case. I have a note to pass along with reference to Cindy's comment about the mosquitoes carrying us away. Mosquitoes can be troublesome, but as wet as our weather has been, it can really be a problem. So I'm going to take this time to give a shout out to my sponsors of the radar here. That's Precision Lawn and Landscape. And you can call them for Hutch's discount. I want you to do that if you are in the FM area. Give them a call. They do immaculate yard work. So any lawn duties, Hutch's discount for new customers, 10% off. Take advantage of that. Now, while they're there, they can handle the mosquito problems, and they do service lakes country as well. So it's not just around your house getting rid of spiders and mosquitoes in a family-friendly, pet-friendly way, but they can take care of the dock area as well as around the garage and outbuildings. So that typically lasts up to 3 weeks. And if you're sick of having those skeeters take you away, Well, then give my friends at Precision Lawn and Landscape a call today. All right, now a look at these temperatures in red. You can see 55 there in Cooperstown, Carrington 55 degrees, and we do have temperatures up to the north that are still in the upper 50s as we go up into the Grafton area. Look at Thief River, it's 58 for you, and at Waskish, 63 gorgeous degrees out there. Now, here's where we still have some rain, and that was reported today. 8 inches of rain near Bagley today. Rita, are you kidding me? Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a look at the radar estimates of rainfall here because that is an amazing amount of rainfall. 8 inches in the Bagley area. Let's go to storm total precipitation estimates by Doppler radar. I do want to point out these estimates can be skewed a little bit by hail, but with the advent of some fancy technology in the radar equipment, it's gotten better. Now, what do all these colors mean? Where you see the yellows and the oranges, let me put up the spyglass here. So as we look into the area in and around Bemidji there, Rita, it's showing upwards of 1.5 inches in town. I don't know if that correlates with what your measurement was there, but looks to be pretty close with what I was reporting a little bit earlier. I'm also double checking these numbers here with what I'm seeing from my friends over at Endon. Now, as we look in the Thief River area, it showed 1.85 in the gauge. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, a lot closer to the 2 inches in the eastern part of the county. So that checks out pretty good. But in Thief River and just points north, 3 inches of rain. Now, you said out in Bagley. So let's go to Bagley out there in Clearwater County and let's take a look at what we got. Now, I don't see anywhere here where there's 8 inches in Bagley, but you go down south just a little bit towards White Earth and towards there, we start seeing some reds. And we're getting 3 and 4 inches of estimated rainfall. So 3 inches for Cormorant from Joan. Thank you so much. Rita, that is a gully washer if there was indeed 8 inches in a place. I'm not questioning it because that's awful far away from our radar for solid estimates. In and around the valley, some of the heaviest rainfall here, estimated by Doppler radar, was just north of Wahpeton in Abercrombie. And this is, again, the storm total amounts. This shows 4.92, 5.3 inches of rain. And in some of these higher spots here where we see these lighter colored pixels, 6.12 inches of rain just northeast of Abercrombie. So that looked to be the big winner in the southern Red River Valley. As that's working its way through some of the rivers and tributaries into the main stem red, we're going to see our Red River be a rising in Fargo and places north as well. Jamestown picked up some very heavy totals, upwards of 3 inches of rain north of town there. Near Wimbledon, the same thing goes there. And as we get a little bit closer to the Grand Forks area, let's get some estimates from the Doppler radar where we see those oranges. Again, that's close to 2.5 to 3 inches of estimated rainfall in those areas. Again, the farther away from the radar we get, the less reliable some of those estimates are. A friend's picture of her rain gauge, says Rita, is where she got that, and I'm not questioning it. It's just one of those things where there were some just localized heavy downpours of precipitous wet precipitation. Karen, thank you so much for your kind words. Now, let's take a look at your forecast. We started talking a little bit about the temperatures for the morning being frosty out to the west. The afternoon looks delightful. Look at the wind. I can get along with this 5 to 11 mile per hour business. Can you? All right. That means Hutch can take a break from the super duper hold hairspray that I use. I'd like to take a moment to mention my sponsors at the North Dakota Super Hold. No, not Super Hold. They do have Super Hold, but I got the Super Duper Hold. That really keeps things in order here. Won't need it tomorrow. Northwest wind, 5 to 11 miles per hour. Temperatures in the low 70s to mid 70s in Fargo. We'll see upper 60s across greater parts of Minnesota with a little bit more of a north wind in the morning hours, kind of keeping you at bay. And after starting out with frost out west, Dickinson sees temperatures rise to near 70 degrees. Same thing for you in Bismarck and Minot as well. That's a look at your forecast for tomorrow. Now let's take a look at the extended forecast. And to do that real quick, I'm going to show you. I'm back at it, Simon. Back at it here. I had a little rest. I actually did some work on my car today. Have a car. I'm getting ready for a big time car show, and I was doing some work, throwing an alternator in it, finishing the brakes, and having some fun. Lots of fun. It's fun working on them old cars in between storms, right? Are we ever going to get heat wave like the rest of the country, John asks. There is a chance. There's some warm weather ahead. Let's go right to the European model and look at a couple things in the forecast, though, because we have had so much rain. we have a few more chances. I'm going to show a regional view here. Why? Because that's why. And I'm saying that because if you have regional plans this weekend, you'll get to see what we have going on. Now, we've had the snow out in the mountains out west, and tonight we're going to see some frosty conditions thanks to good old high pressure, cold high pressure in the western Dakotas. Now, our area will see the clearing clouds and showers. So the morning, this is first thing in the morning, best chance of sprinkles will be in eastern Minnesota. And I cannot rule it out for a couple spots here or there from Lake of the Woods through the Bemidji area and on into the Brainerd Lakes area. Then high pressure moves right over town, sets up shop here, and I welcome it because it means a quiet day of weather for Hutch and for you. You're probably sick of hearing me talk. All right, now as we go into Thursday, we'll have some showers and storms in southern Minnesota again, where there's already flood problems. So late week storm chances do increase. Do you see this nonsense? Look at Friday morning, a chance of some strong storms lifting northward towards us along a warm front boundary. As that happens, we'll keep our eyes on the risk for morning severe storms. That's not our typical time for morning severe storms, but that can happen. So we'll have to watch those. Those will lift north. The warm front sets up. Here comes the main low. This could be a strong Friday evening round of thunderstorms in the Southern Valley, locally heavy rain. It does look like if this pans out, it could be a severe weather event for some portions of southern Minnesota. All modes of severe weather would be possible with a surface pattern similar to this. I'll keep you posted. This is Friday night. It says Saturday at 0Z, but that's Friday here. It's Saturday in Europe. I know it's crazy, but us meteorologists have to keep ourselves thinking all the time. Look at this thing explode with rain and thunderstorms as we go into the overnight hours and then blast through the Twin Cities and Duluth again. Another heavy producing system Friday night and into Saturday morning. So if you happen to be at a car show in and around the Twin Cities maybe this weekend, be advised, I have a video on my YouTube page. You should check it out. There is a risk for some strong thunderstorms as we go through a Friday night late, and maybe again, look at this, as we go into the Saturday timeframe, we could have some north winds and cooler. Saturday and Sunday looks a little quieter, although breezy, and a passing shower here and there in and around the Twin Cities. And for us, the heat starts to build back in once we get into Sunday. So Sunday begins the return of some hot weather. So after some late week storms, Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday in the region, it looks a little bit quieter and a lot hotter. There could be some strong storms in the heat of the day there. According to the good old European model, that's so far out, even my eyeglasses can't see that far, even in North Dakota with fewer trees than Minnesota. So now let's take a look at your planning forecast and get this show on the road so you know what you can count on. Here's the planning deal. Woo-wee! Juneteenth. Happy birthday, Dad. His birthday's on Juneteenth. Wishing you a very happy birthday. 74 degrees here in the FM area. Some afternoon sun and fun for sure, with quiet winds as well. Back up to 80 on that summer solstice. I can't rule out a late night thunderstorm. Remember, I showed you into Friday morning in the southern part of the valley, not all of us. So just a few areas, mainly south of Fargo, a chance for some nighttime showers and thunderstorms. So summer solstice begins at 3:50, and guess what that means? The daylight hours start getting shorter and shorter, and, well, that's what it means. Yep, this is when the sun is at its farthest, the direct rays of the sun are at their farthest northern latitude at 23.5 degrees north of the equator. Strong storms in the morning and again in the afternoon, possible Friday. A few strong thunderstorms across the region on Saturday, particularly east. Temperatures hovering around that 80-degree mark through the early weekend, and then after that, the heat is on, as they say. Ba-da-da-da-da. 70. Nope, we're taking away the 70s, and we're going to punch it up toward 90 degrees Monday and Tuesday. Yes, we could have a storm chance here or there. It looks a little warmer as we go into Tuesday, and drier, I should say, as well. So, yeah, we do have a chance for some heat here and there. But, again, chances for some more soggy and heavy rain-producing thunderstorms are in. Bring on fall, says Simon. Katie says, what's it looking like for Lengby this weekend, having a bachelorette weekend at the lake? Wow. Well, first of all, congratulations. I hope you have a lot of fun in and around the Lengby area as we take a look at our Grand Forks area, the fun in the sun kind of weather that I'm expecting for some areas. And again, if you're asking specifically about the entire weekend, it's going to be very similar to what we see here in Fargo. So Again, Saturday storms will be most likely as we go into parts of Minnesota. We just talked about that on that European model. I'll pull it back up one more time so you can focus. And this one, I'm going to zoom it in for you, Katie, so you can see, since it's a very important weekend for you in that area. And so as we take a look, here's the exiting storms today. Quiet, cold, and then warming up a little bit. And now here's our Thursday storm south, Friday morning storms south, okay, south of the Grand Forks area. And your best chance of showers and storms look to be on Saturday morning there, and that's it. The rest of the weekend will be a little cooler with passing showers with that north wind. This is a north wind that will cool you off. So that's what it looks like. Best chance of showers will be off to your south as we start the weekend, and then we'll have them coming in from Canada on Sunday, potentially in the morning hours there with a cooler north flow, and the temperatures, it won't be too hot. All right, Bonnie, thanks so much for sharing. Thanks, Deb, for your support of stars. I do have a very, very fun announcement to do, and I will be scheduling a live broadcast to make that announcement here very soon. I know I've been talking about it, putting the finishing touches on the recipe. I think you're going to like it, and I want you around for the announcement as well. So for now, Hutch Johnson signing off after way too much broadcasting the last few days. Let's enjoy some quiet weather. I'll have an update for you first thing in the morning, and again, we'll keep you posted with changes to that outlook for a stormy potential late weekend.